congratulations on your win. Just talk through that very briefly.
Thank you. I mean, it was definitely a tough match to win. Caroline is a really tricky opponent because she is really aggressive and plays very quickly. So as soon as I dropped my ball speed and pace, and she took advantage of that in the second set, and I'm just glad that I managed to adjust for the third.
Okay, questions? Start at the front.
Your countryman Andy Murray just won his 700 match, and I know you looked up to him. And I just wondered if you talk about what kind of achievement that is for him, given all he's been through with his body, etc.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think Andy is just such a class player. I mean, the way he can put the ball in places that you just don't want, and I think that's a real great skill to have, and I definitely looked up to him today, especially because I was following him and I knew he came through some tricky moments. And yeah, I was thinking the same when I dropped the second set. I was like, you can do the same, just keep pushing. And I think it was great to kind of follow him in the order of play today.
And if you could just follow up, it's such a special day for him. Can you give us either a fun or a special story about Andy, that first choice, or just second choice? Just tell us what he means to you as a British star, and I'm sure he's been so supportive.
Yeah, I mean, he has been for sure. I know one time when I was just practicing, I think I managed to hit with him and I was so nervous. I was moving my feet so fast and just to try and keep up. And I think that he's just such a great role model for me and everyone from the UK and also across the world. And 700 wins is just something I can dream of. I think I'm on 3 right now. So yeah, a long way to go.
The last few months have been kind of a whirlwind for you of activities and things. Could you kind of talk about some of those challenges and how that contrasts to when you were here last fall?
I haven't actually been doing many activities or, appearances. I think that I'm really, my day-to-day is training, and around my training schedule, then I'll do interviews or something. But it's kind of definitely been difficult to manage my time, but that's more on me completing all the hours and not cutting or slacking off on any of the sessions, so that I really need to prioritize that because my body is still developing and still needs that work.
What about the health challenges? You've had some of that too.
Yeah, it's been challenging. I mean, the COVID and the injuries and the blisters, and I feel like they were all a knock-on effect of getting COVID and not practicing or training for 3 weeks. And then it's tough when you've got no momentum and it's so stop-start. But yeah, I'm just really glad that I managed to push through today and, kind of build and see where I can go from here.
Great. Did your paths cross, Andy going off court, you coming on court? Did you cross paths? And then, while every win is great, how important would you say today's result was?
Yeah, we actually crossed paths. I mean, when he was coming off, I was there waiting for the match, and it's always a weird one when you're following someone who's just won. You're like, I really want to do the same. It kind of gives you that extra fuel, and I was really happy for him, and he gave me a fist bump, and it was cool. But yeah, today's match definitely, I think it meant a lot to me. It's my first, my second win of the year, and I haven't played so many, but I've just had these injuries and niggles, and to come through in a big tournament, I think it definitely means a lot. And yeah, I'm just really glad that at this level, my level was good enough today.
I just wanted to ask how physically you felt out there on the court, and also, was it ever really close for you to not come and not compete here?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, after Mexico, I flew home and pretty much everyone was like, you're done. Hopefully Miami's 50-50, and that was, at the time, that's 4 weeks of, rehabbing, coming back. And I was like, you guys, I mean, I feel like I can listen to my body here, and it was starting to get better. And yeah, now I'm just really glad that I definitely came, and I think that it's definitely just important to kind of listen to your body, how it's feeling. And regardless, I know the medical experts, they're all top of their job, but then if you're really in tune with your body, I feel like you kind of get a good grasp of the decision to make.
You talked about Andy's skill. I was wondering, what do you think your biggest skill is? And what's the main skill you'd like to add to your game?
Yeah, I feel like one of my skills is probably mental, working things out. I feel like today I worked out pretty well that I was taking pace off the ball. I was playing too much to one side or the middle, and in the second, and then I kind of reassessed, and in the third set I picked my ball speed back up and I was spreading the play more. So I think that that's probably one of my strengths, just working things out as they go along, and also being a little bit awkward at times and unpredictable.
Emma, you were really positive with yourself. It looked like from the first point, fist pumping and everything like that. You came out very positive after that second set into the third set. I'm kind of curious, what is your mindset? What are the emotions like right now when you play these matches? And then on match point, when you win, is it a sense of joy? Is it a sense of relief? Like, what is the feeling that you feel when you win a match right now?
So the match today, it was actually, I'm not going to lie, I was like a bit nervous going out before because I hadn't played many, and I know that before I went out in my last match in Mexico, I was pretty nervous. So today I just really wanted to play free and swing, and during when things were getting difficult, I was like, just think how bad you're going to feel if you let this slip after having your chances. You know, I broke in the first game of the second, and I played a bit of a sloppy game, missed loads of first serves, and let her back in. So I think that, and at the end, I think this one definitely meant a lot to me. So definitely a lot of joy.
Any more questions?
I have a little bit of a different question. For American writers, it's fun to cover British players. Just it's the same language, but it's really different too. I mean, you guys always refer to injuries, but we call injuries as niggles. Is there anything in American English, any phrases or words that are fun or different to you? Maybe not.
Max, actually, my agent, I mean, it's funny, when he was in my box in Australia, and all I could do was like, "Come on, baby," and I was like literally cracking up. Like that was getting me. But I love how positive and fun American people are, and I feel like I get really, I feel like coming here as a Brit, we speak the same language, so it's basically the same thing, but in another environment, and it's a really cool place to be. Everything is so easy and functional too.
And the last two questions will come to Courtney.
And Emma, just the other day you were saying that you weren't used to the new normal quite yet. So I'm just kind of curious for you, what's the weirdest thing about your new normal? The one thing that's like hardest for you to kind of get your head around, or?
The weirdest, I think, when people kind of like ask, the weirdest thing is when someone gets like so happy that I like take a photo with them or like say hi. I feel like that's just normal, I don't think that's anything like they shouldn't be getting happy because it's just me, so but yeah, it definitely means a lot when that happens. And I kind of feel bad because sometimes when I'm like practicing before the match, that like the crowd here, you can kind of see when people come off, but to get there you have to kind of walk that way and you're preparing for a match, so I feel kind of bad that I can't do it all the time. But yeah, whenever I get a chance, I really make sure I want to try and connect with the fans and the people watching.
And the last question to Craig.
After the incredible highs that you've experienced, and then there have been the disappointments with some of these results, do you feel that you're putting pressure on yourself, or do you feel there is pressure being put on you, that people are expecting you to win unrealistically every match you go out and play because you've won the US Open?
I feel like that probably happened after the US Open. I think everyone just suddenly expected me to win everything and clean up everything I play. But I mean, realistically, before that, like, if you would have said to me last year, okay, Emma, what's your goal for the year? I'd be like, okay, I want to win one round in a main draw of a Grand Slam. And I did that in Australia, and that to me last year probably would have made my year, to be honest. And yeah, so what it might be a poorer result now in people's eyes, to me, would have been the exact, like, a positive thing. And I think I need to keep reminding myself of that and not getting sucked in. But I feel like now people are starting to realize, look, it's going to take some time for her to settle in. And yeah, I feel like patience is a big thing, because once I settle in and go through all these highs and lows, yeah, I'll find some sort of equilibrium.